All right, today we're going to dive into a really profound idea, one that comes from a Korean monk's philosophical teachings. And let me tell you, it's designed to challenge the very way you see reality every single day. The whole teaching kicks off with this beautiful, kind of mind-bending line. It immediately sets the tone for what we're about to unpack. This idea that the reality we think is so solid, so real, might just be as intangible as a line drawn in empty space. And this leads us right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The core question we're tackling. Is the world you see around you, the chair you're in, the screen you're watching, is any of it really real in the way we assume it is? Well, let's find out. So our first stop on this journey is about understanding our everyday experience. And this teaching has a pretty striking name for it: living in a world of shadows. The idea here is that fundamentally, the human condition is a state of confusion. We look at all these temporary, fleeting things, our thoughts, our jobs, our relationships, even our own bodies, and we treat them like they're solid, permanent, and real. We're basically staring at shadows dancing on a cave wall, completely convinced that they're the real deal. Now, here's a really common trap people fall into. You might think, okay, fine, the world out there is an illusion, but I, the one doing the seeing, I must be real. But nope. The teaching says that's not it at all. The seer inside you and the seen out there, they're both just part of the same flickering show. They're both shadows. So, if we're all stuck in this world of illusions, how in the world do we see through it? Well, that brings us to the next and absolutely crucial part of this whole journey, the path of active practice. And this is not about just kicking back and thinking deep thoughts. No way. The Korean term for this is suhang, and it means an intense, deliberate, full-body effort. It's an active investigation into your own mind, and it's designed to literally break down the wall that stands between you and the truth. And listen, this journey is not some walk in the park. The path is described almost like a battle. First, you get to a point where you feel completely and utterly stuck, like you've run into a solid brick wall. The whole key is to just keep pushing, don't retreat. And then, at some point, your whole concept of past and future, of me and you, it just dissolves. And in that moment, boom, the whole illusion, the wall itself, just shatters. But to get there, it takes a very specific quality. The text uses this wonderful analogy. The practice has to be like a hen incubating an egg. You see, it requires this constant, patient, warm dedication. You can't force it to happen faster, but you can't walk away and neglect it either. You just have to provide the right conditions and let the breakthrough happen on its own time. So when that breakthrough finally happens, when the wall collapses, what is it you actually discover? Well, this right here is the absolute heart of the entire teaching. The main insight is all packed into this one phrase, Gyeonsek Gyeonshim. And it basically translates to see form is to see mind. So what does that really mean? It means the external world, all the forms and colors out there, and your internal consciousness, your mind, in here, are not two separate things. They're one and the same. Now, to really get this, there's this brilliant analogy. Think of your mind as the vast open sky. It's just there, spacious, empty. And the world, everything you see, hear, feel, and think, it's all like clouds that appear and float through that sky. You see, the clouds aren't separate from the sky. They are a formation of the sky. And this interdependence is everything. You just can't have a cloud without the sky for it to exist in, right? But think about it the other way. How would you even perceive the vastness and emptiness of the sky if there were no clouds to give it some contrast and definition? Each one reveals the other. The world reveals the mind, and the mind gives rise to the world. Okay, so what does all of this actually mean for, your day-to-day life? If you have this big realization, do you just float away into the cosmos? Actually, it's the exact opposite. It's about living in a way that's more grounded, more simple, and more harmonious than ever. This whole idea really brings enlightenment down to earth. It's not about getting superpowers. It's about letting go of the constant struggle. It means you just wear your clothes. You eat your meals. You follow the natural flow of things instead of fighting it. You learn to act in harmony with your circumstances, accepting the good and the bad as just part of life, and finding a real sense of peace in just the way things are. And this sets up such a powerful contrast, doesn't it? On one hand, you have what the text calls the root of suffering, this modern obsession with getting more power, more money, more control. The result? a life that's just full of competition and anxiety. The other path is the path to peace, which is all about finding harmony and acceptance. And the result isn't weakness, it's a deep, profound resilience, an ability to just flow with life. This is probably my favorite analogy from the entire text. It's so simple and so perfect. Good times and bad times, they're like the palm and the back of your hand. They look like total opposites, right? But you can't have one without the other. They are both inseparable parts of the very same hand, the very same life. So let's be super clear on the final takeaway. This wisdom isn't about escaping the world or becoming passive. It's about engaging with your life more fully, more clearly, and more authentically than you ever have before. Why? Because you finally see it, and you see yourself without all the distortions of the illusion. And so we're left with one last, kind of mind-bending question to chew on. What if that deep, ultimate truth that you've been searching for out there isn't out there at all? What if it's the very consciousness that's looking, right here, right now?